So I'm here at the foiling week in Lake Garda. So I'm gonna look at some of the equipment here that's making a really splash this year. So this is a Switch boat. So that's something that I have tried now there as a prototype 2 years ago, and now they're in production. So this is the foiling one design boat. So here we have the logo Switch one design, and in many ways it just reminds the Moth, but it's not in the Moth class, so you cannot take it to the Moth class, although that it's actually have taken quite a lot of elements of it. So first of all, I think this might be something that is in between the Moth and Wasp in many ways. So when Wasp is a little bit more affordable but having a little bit less of the elements, have less so of the carbon fiber elements and a lot of more robust aluminium elements, but then at the same time they have a little bit less of the quality to it. So basically it's kind of like, if you have been doing the Moth, it's pretty much very similar things. So having the wand here on the bowsprit, so it's a little bit forward protruded, so that's really good for the stability in the waves. Then yeah, that's actually this mounting for the Baccaros, for actually measuring the positions and actually getting also using it for the race. So it's now over here. So first of all, I think it is solid tramp here. A bit there's a floating, but as you can see over here, it is also actually very smooth. There is nothing protruding, for example, how it is on the Wasp. So it's just all one nice aerodynamic structure. This seems to be quite nice hiking strap, a little bit elevated over here, and as it's elevated also, I think it is much put the legs in. All right, what else is there? So if we just here, I think the controls are super simple. So over here we have like only 4 holes here. So this blue line, actually it's easier to see it from the other side. Yeah, that's where you see all the controls here. So blue line it is. So that should be a Cunningham together. So then white line here, that goes kicker over here. Nice element, so that all the elements here, like for example like kicker, is really well also covered by this lower part for the nice aerodynamic. Now this one is the controlling on the main foil. So this is also carbon fiber, really nice, a bit more robust, and the main foil. Then yeah, and that's it. I think there is nothing over here. Very simple controls. Then we have, okay, this is this bridle system for the main sheet. And yeah, orange main sheet, a lot of space around here for actually like really like easy passage. Yeah, it looks like very nice structure. So okay, here, so yeah, looking up, that's kind of like probably very similar to Moth. I think measurement wise, I think it might be very similar. So if we actually there now, maybe a little bit more, a little bit more bigger. Size of the sail is that. Yeah, what else we have here? These are the foils. That's the rudder. Again, the same with the controlled lift surface. So by rotating that handle the tiller extension, so you can control the lift, and then that's the main foil. Looks really neat, also promising nice range for this foiling boat, so just to take off on a lighter wind. And I was actually the prototype that I tried plus to that I tried to use was pretty easy to lift, and it was very much nice taking off also at higher angles, even like almost close to close hold. I think was very to take off, so it's actually power in it. So yeah, really look at it from the stern. That's also a system that's I think the difference from the Moth class, that this part is not protruding from the hull, but this is a part of the hull. So if we actually compare it to the other boats, it would be really different. So I think it might be good to compare it to the Moth. So as you can see that this is Moth. So this is, as you can see, that in here class. Right. I think, as you can see, there are a lot of similarities in terms of how the system is rigged also on the Moth. I think it is very similar. Also, it is pretty similar, just that there is a bowsprit for the handle. Oh, sorry, for the and right. A little bit more controls over here on the Moth, so the controls are a little bit more elaborate, but yeah, that's okay. There is monohulls, foiling mono. I think that's might be, we can just take a look later, but the example of comparing to Wasp. So in Wasp, the wand is in the hull, so there is no bowsprit, so usually it comes with the stability. It will pick up on the waves a little bit more, the waves. So it also, I think, a similar, yes, it has a similar way of attaching the foil. Say flip it there, or just you will flip it on the shore and attach attach the foil to here, and then we'll need just to walk just a little bit. So then after that one you can lift it here, where it just doesn't seem that there is a possibility. Yeah, there is no possibility. The foil at the shore, and I think that what makes Wasp a little bit easier. So and that could attached to the while the boat is at the shore. Yeah, so that's also the difference with the Wasp, that over here the rudder is mounting. Yep, all kind of like simple, less elaborate than the Moth. But yeah, that's what you guys think. Something that it's pretty. I think this is the exactly in the middle, whereas you would probably get you could get the Moth. Well, Wasps, that boat is just popular among the youth, also sailors, and I think the overall pricing that you could just get it a little bit over 10k, I think, or maybe 14k, like of extra things and sails and the size of the sail. I think these ones that are new are listed around 20k without VAT, and I think without VAT. And when we go to Moth, I think the sky is the limit, and so of course the difference, that would be a one design class, which means that this is really different, for example, from these boats like Moth over here, and that Moth, which is a more development class, which means that you would be every you in a, like how these boats are developed, whereas this would just provide a little bit more platform for them, for that you would be probably having the same equipment. For plan of the designers was to provide the possibility for people to travel with sails if you need to travel for the competition. So you can take your sail and you can take your foils, I think, with you. So I think probably even I think they can be disassembled, so that's what you can put in your luggage, and then you can come to a competition and basically rent a hull with a Trump. And I think actually, yes, if I'm not mistaken, also then once it's the luggage, cannot feel it here. There is any seam. Yeah, hard to say, but I think as far as I remember, there is 3 pieces over here. That means that you can travel with your sails, mast, and the foils, and basically, since it's design, you will be able to rent the hull, and it's gonna be exactly the same hull, like wherever you go. So this, I think, also makes it possibility to even travel somewhere like where you don't actually enable a little bit more long haul travels and long-term competitions. Okay, the wind is now hacking out. All right, let's go and see what else we have here. Quite a lot of interest in, I think, in this, which I think this is pretty new. This boat is pretty new in terms of as a class. So as I said, I first prototype around. It means that I think they started to sell only like this year the new models of this Switch. And that Switch boat. So it means I think they had just only the first race. Italian Italian class was sailing the first competition just like a week or 2 ago. And now I think, depending on the weather is not so great now. There is not enough wind, but once it's going to be on the water, it would be really interesting to see how actually they perform. All right, we're gonna come back to the Switch once again. I think it's quite an interesting boat. But so this is a single hull foiling boat. It's birdie fish foil. But if we now go to another boat over here, this one with the idea is that you can come to the, I think, this one is even better to see over here. So this is a single hull, so it means that it's really stable when it's in displacement mode and not foiling. So also when you come to the dock with the bow first to the dock. I think arrive to the dock, you would probably need some protection over here. That's a little bit kind of, basically you put those foils in the water and start to fly. So they will be like this V shape down in the water. These are, is this ETF? That's a good question. Actually, I'm not. Oh no, this is a 69F. Yes, 69s. Pretty high-tech, powerful boats. So you can see that the foils over here, the one that they have, are significantly bigger than, for example, we have here on the birdie fish. You have also, the mast is also pretty big. I think it is probably 6 meters if it's 69. Also have those tramps here for good, powerful boats. rudder seems to be without, yeah, not on this surface, but that seems to be controlling the pitch of a rudder, and those ropes go for the crew to control from the tramp. But this one is already like a professional league sailing. That's you know, because as you see, everything carbon fiber. 3-person boat, if I'm not mistaken. The 69RF. Okay, this is already a good example of fully rigged Wasp. So this has been already established. One design class we mentioned, so it's similar to this switch that I was talking about, and we're gonna come back to switch it once again. So this is one design. Yeah, so we looked at it, that the wand is without the bowsprit, it just attached here. Let's look at the controls here because it's really much more easier to see. So it seems to be so this is in red rope there. It's so it comes, this is a control line, and then it gets in there, goes along the foot of the sail and over here, so you can kind of tighten the sail from the glue. This is having this like windsurfing style of the boom, which is kind of, on one hand, it's also kind of like the manufacturer kind of claims that it's safer, but yeah, I could see that also a big part of it is up. But yeah, this is slightly a different design over here. Okay, what else we have? These ropes also very similar what we had in on the switch boat. In the pitch of the boat, and actually main foil that seems to be is controlling the Cunningham. Yeah, I think it is controlling the Cunningham. And the tramps are similar, but again, the tramps are, you have the floating surface over here, and I think you have this is protruding. What I also notice when you just sail, sometimes you might get like an extra water over here, and if your tramp is not really tight, pond of water which you need to empty it. I liked it again how it was on the switch. A lot of Wasps, just said, very popular class. Actually over here you can see that they're launching Moth, the Sumoth competition, so it's made design competition made by students. So there, yeah, you could see four. Let's look at it a little bit more close. All right, same boat as we saw. So again, as one design, it will be exactly the same. They have 3 sizes of the for the different weight categories. That is everything else. So again, we'll same controls, kicker, and then the main foil control. Looks neat. Okay, let's look what else there is over here. All right, hey, I would be saying boats. So there's a number of the foiling boats over here. So as I said, so these are foiling Wasp boats, and usually used for the youth who is starting to foil. They're a little bit cheap. Because most of the material the foils are made, for example, out of aluminium, and the hull is there is not probably much of the carbon fiber. Yeah, so for example, these tubes, one which is that, so all these tubes are like aluminium. So in this way, it's actually also very easy to maintain. It's all kind of damages compared to the carbon fiber, but I think when you everything is just having some kind of like a little bit more loose tolerances. So it's a little So if you take a really good moth, or so this fish, how I tried it, I think it just has more crisp, more sharp feeling. Uh, when you use carbon fiber, that everything is so and a little bit more tighter, so you feel to the sailing power rather than for the adjusting the tolerances. Okay, let's look furthermore. More of those 69ers over here. Yeah, those were the catamarans were there. Maybe we can walk there together. These are ETFs, so these are basically, those are the platforms, if any of you like watching, for example, SailGP or something like that, because usually the sailors don't have really much timing to sail in SailGP, because they're only allocated the boat one day for training before the competition, and then this competition, that's it, very long time. So this is a very sort of similar but significantly smaller, but where the sailors can actually work on the foiling. So for the, I think, training ground for the foiling catamaran. So those boats, we'll just go there maybe a bit later. I think I control them was so that you it creates platform. Right, a lot of videos. This class has been already for several years. I don't think it just gets a really big. It is just popular among certain, which it's easier than any other catamaran. And also, this is actually how the switch is packed over here. See, also switch, but with a cover on top of it. You're like this, you can just go. So this is the base for the wasps. Okay, there is actually a sailing school and foiling school where you can... Oh, there's actually seems to be one switch there that you want. Oh, okay, we can also see that. So that, and you would like dock in on the side, then you bring the watch the time watching, need to watch the foils.
So let's set you guys up and you know exactly who's saying what word.
Alright. So once you dock in, you will just bring the what is it? Trailer also for the birdie fish, which is pretty cool. But here during the week. Okay, let's continue now. Do you guys want to maybe see that's how to they're taking out of the water? Alright, so the tricky part, you need to put this part there under the... Yes, so you see when you press there, that's where you probably don't want to damage the foils, but I think on them push this behind the foils, so that's a... mostly that's a launch where you have most that's a launching ground for wasp moths. That's over there is that you can see these are the last sign for the hundreds of the boats over here in the wasp class. How you basically will just put the wasp in the water, so you just put the foil from over there and then put it out of the water. as you can see, of course, some now there's the Italian switch boat. Not but yeah, I think it's probably it has a very good like positioning, and but it's still like not being a development class as the not being development class as which actually requires actually investment. More, which actually requires actually a really significant catamaran, SKF catamaran. I think that one is might be even not sure to crane in, because there is a crane over there. I have to crane in because that's the oh yeah, you could see it over there. It's I come from a little bit from the top, so it's a catamaran with two foils. So foils are shaped, I think this is like a S-shaped foil. It's like a mini version, and if it's 26, so it's just okay. Let's pass. Yeah, I think you can see the mast. So yeah, actually with the winch it's being lifted here. Winch, the mast is being lifted. One is winching, one is tailing. So boat. But these boats are not racing today. I think they have a race. Probably they will have a race. Probably they will have a few training days. But then the race is starting on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Nice toy. Actually, we're gonna go. Just a second. Here are some. So stand Vakaros, really kind of system over here. Yeah. People like just actually, it's just a lot of people just hanging out there at the switch stand. So I'll try to find later on the guys who actually represent the switch, and then I'll maybe have a little talk with them, in them around, but not now. When they design the in a sustainable way, and engineering boats are doing this thing.
And I just got the handles outside.
All right, gonna launch the pumping boat, and so they could just like control them remotely and position them with GPS to the right place. Okay. Let's look at the pumping. Yes, there we go.
Where are you from?
This is the board that I have to check, and maybe let's see what's the time now. I don't know if I'll have enough time just to test it. This is a downwind board, so actually it was first, I think, designed for the downwind paddling when you have the big waves and you go downwind. But I think what is was also discovered that can take off together with the wing at the very low wind, as basically you see the shape of the boat. It has a long water line. So this is 128 liter board, and it's pretty long. At the same time, it is super light. I don't know how many kilos it is, but I would say that maybe 5, 6, maybe max. This one I think we will compare to the north board, because actually north board is almost like, really looks like has a very narrow flat part over here, but this board has a maybe, what would I say, 40 centimeters in the narrowest, 40 centimeters. When there's a complete northboard has about like maybe even almost like 15, very narrow. So actually in there, I think it reduces the, well, I think this is I need to test. Actually, I cannot really, it's difficult to say because I feel it would have a little bit than the north dot, but perhaps this board is something, so carbon fiber foils need to be really light, and I think this the go now around. Yeah, that's a student area that made up. So that's the interesting part of all this competition. I think then we probably made the rounds. Definitely. I think then we probably made the rounds. Definitely a new take or a new thing. Wing is probably causing quite a lot of or raising quite a lot of attention. Even though that the prototype of it was available, definitely production. Yeah, so yeah, I would say that out of the foiling wig, that would be my pick. Production series. So yeah, I would say that out of the foiling wig, that would be my pick. Out of the here, there is also over there ETF boats that we didn't go. Water also on the shore. So yeah. I think that's a quick tour about the foiling week, day one. Okay, take care. Bye.